I have some very sad news for all of you, and I think sad news for all of our fellow citizens and people who love peace all over the world. Is how Robert F. Kennedy began his speech on the date of April 4th, 1968. The saddening news to follow would be the death of Reverend Martin Luther King, Jr. Ever since King's initial leadership of the civil rights movement, he remained a being who thought of change of the ongoing segregation in America. He believed in the concept of protest in a manner that did not involve violent action to take place. His powerful speeches and ability to feel what others were feeling at the time led him to the apex of the civil rights movement. King had been visiting Memphis, Tennessee on the day of his sudden and unpredictable death. It had been an assassination atop a balcony of the Lorraine Motel. King had been in Memphis only due to the escalating violence of the Black Panthers, who had taken to the streets across the nation in form of armed riots. King wanted to stop this ever-present violence, and so he traveled to Memphis in order to cease much of the ongoing struggles. At the same time in Memphis, King went to support the African American sanitation workers, who had been on strike for getting no pay for their occupation. Standing atop the balcony, a sniper from afar fired a bullet through King's cheek, where it dug deep into his neck and came to a halt in his shoulder blade. In the hope that he would be able to survive, he was rushed to the hospital. However, after open-heart massaging, the visionary was pronounced dead at 7:05 p.m. on April 4th, 1968. The one charged with King's death was a fugitive from the Missouri State Penitentiary, James Earl Ray. The man was arrested and sentenced to 99 years in prison, admitting that he was guilty. However, after his conviction, Ray attempted to retract his statement of guilt and be heard by a jury, but this was never met. He later died in the prison at the age of 70. Even though his death was excruciating to hear from many Americans throughout the country, Robert F. Kennedy used it as a time to propel the people of that nation into a moment of hope and possibility. We can move in that direction as a country, in greater polarization, black people amongst blacks and white amongst whites, filled with hatred toward one another, said Kennedy. Or we can make an effort, as Martin Luther King did, to understand and to comprehend and replace that violence, that stain of bloodshed that has spread across our land, with an effort to understand, compassion, and love. With the death of the great leader, the peoples of America would eventually move forward, cease their acts of segregation. From Martin Luther King Jr.'s life, many achieved hope and prosperity. From his death, his legacy lived on, and his dream of equality for everyone thrived within his nation. The bounds of this separation were broke, the oppressiveness of segregation torn open from the death of a great, influential visionary. Even to his death, Martin Luther King's final words explained how the man was caring, someone who wished for the inalienable rights of freedom for all. Ben, make sure you play Take My Hand, Precious Lord in the meeting tonight. Play it real pretty.